This is Arindam Ghosh. This is my sixth video lecture on Gulliver's Travels. So I have finished reading the novel with you, and at the same time I have summarized the entire novel and analyzed the book chapters with you. Then I'm actually in this particular video moving with you with various themes, analysis of the various themes that are connected with Gulliver's Travels. So let us begin our lecture and let us see what are the important observations that we can make in this Gulliver's Travels. So let us begin. Observation number 1 on the Lilliputians. See, the Lilliputians are men of 6 inches in height, but possessing all the pretension and the self-importance of full-sized man. Though they are almost appearing as almost a kind of microcosmic representation of the human being, just almost like human being, but very small in size. So they are mean, they are nasty, they are vicious, morally corrupt, hypocritical, deceitful, jealous, envious, low, hinsha, morally corrupt, with greed and ingratitude, very much ingrateful. They are in fact completely human. They are in fact representation of the human being. At a manusheri, amader moto rokto manusher manusheri chotto ekta version. Perhaps their physical size is suggestive of their mental depths. The manushik je depth, the je manushik je chehara, tari ekta extended representation. Jano তাদের physical চেহারা. So Swift uses Lilliputians to satirize specific events and people in his life. For example, Swift's model for film nap, as I have already told you, was Robert Walpole. So Robert Walpole, the first Prime Minister of England, তার মডেলই তৈরি করেছিলেন film napকে. Gulliver's Travels book 1 কিন্তু পুরোপুরি is a political satire. Question about Gulliver's Travels as a political satire. So Swift's model for film nap was Robert Walpole, the leader of the Whigs and England's first Prime Minister in the modern sense. So Walpole was an extremely wily politician, and as Swift shows that by making film nap the most dexterous of the rope dancers, as I have already told you that there is a description of rope dancing, a particular game through which a particular court representative becomes very close to the king. যে যত ভালো rope dancing করতে পারবে, the game of balance, সে তত বেশি king এর অনেক কাছাকাছি যাবে. So film nap is the best of the rope dancers, just like Robert Walpole. While on the other hand, Rel Russell, the second most dexterous of the rope dancers, probably represents either Viscount Townshend or Lord Carteret. So Lord Carteret বা Viscount Townshend কে রিপ্রেজেন্ট করছে রেল রেসাল. সো এই যে পলিটিক্যাল অ্যালিউশন গুলো তোমাদের একটু মনে রাখতে হবে, নামগুলো একটু মুখস্থ করতে হবে. Both were political allies of Walpole. So similarly, the absurd and complicated method by which Gulliver must swear to the articles. Articles means the sections through which Gulliver will swear, must hold his right foot in the left hand and place the middle finger of his right hand on the top of his head with the right thumb on the tip of his ear. Almost an impossible act. This exemplifies a very important aspect of the Whigs politics, that they are petty and red tape harassing. শুধুমাত্র লাল গেরোর ফাঁসে মানুষকে হ্যারাস করে এই Whig politics. এটার কথা সুইফট এখানে বলতে চাইছে. Swift uses Lilliputians to show that English politicians were bloody-minded, bloodthirsty, and they are very treacherous. They are very vicious, they are very small-minded, and they lack depth in their psychology. এটাই বারবার দেখাবার চেষ্টা করেছেন সুইফট. The Lilliputian emperor, out of mercy, plans to blind and starve Gulliver, which exposes the contemporary judiciary system of the Lilliputians. যে ইংলিশ জুডিশিয়ারি সিস্টেম কতটা খারাপ, মানে মানুষকে শুধু পানিশমেন্ট দিতে পারে, লিলিপুটিয়ান এম্পায়ার খুব মার্সি করে গালিভারকে বললো যে মারিস না, ব্লাইন্ড করে দে, স্টার্ভ কর, না খেতে দিয়ে মেরে দে। It is a direct reference to George the First, the King George the First's treatment of captured Jacobites, whom he executed, যাকে তারা মেরেছিল, তাদেরকে মেরেছিল George the First, after Parliament had called them most merciful and lenient. So by the end of the book 1, Swift has drawn a brilliant, concrete and detailed contrast between the normal gullible man Gulliver and the diminutive but vicious politician, the Lilliputian. That the politicians are essentially diminutive in their size. Politicians তাদের সাইজে সবসময় ছোট, তারা যে অত্যন্ত ক্ষুদ্র মনের মানুষ। এই যে ফিজিক্যালিটিকে অলমোস্ট এজ এ মিরর টু দ্য মাইন্ডসকে হিসেবে সুইফট দেখাবার চেষ্টা করেছেন এই পার্টিকুলার টেক্সটে। এইটাই হচ্ছে গালিভারস ট্রাভেলস এর একটা কোর আইডিয়া, that the politician is always a midhead alongside Gulliver. Politicians are always small-minded, very small in size and stature. Now, let us move into the next slide. I have to make certain observations on the Brobdingnagians. The Brobdingnagians are the epitome of the moral giants. They're physically huge, they are 60 feet tall, their moral stature is also gigantic. Brobdingnag is a practical moral utopia. And among the Brobdingnagians, there is a goodwill and calm virtue. The Brobdingnagians are always very practical and they are very calm in their virtue and morality. So their laws encourage charity, yet they are underneath just men who labor under every disadvantage to which man is here. They are physically ugly when magnified, but they are morally beautiful. So Brobdingnagians এর ফ্লেশ এবং হিউম্যান দিয়ে, ফ্লেশ এবং ব্লাড দিয়ে একটা হিউম্যানলি ক্রিয়েচারই পরিণত করার চেষ্টা করেছেন সুইফট, বাট অ্যান আইডিয়াল হিউম্যান ক্রিয়েচার। সো they are physically ugly when magnified, but they are morally beautiful. So if we reject them, we become even more conscious of an ordinary person's verminous morality. So Gulliver's ordinariness exposes many of his faults. গালিভারের যে অর্ডিনারিনেস, তার যে অত্যন্ত সাধারণ হওয়াটা অনেকগুলো ফ্লসকে লোকের সামনে দেখাচ্ছে। Gulliver is revealed to be a very proud man and one who accepts the madness and malice of the European politics. A very proud man who accepts the malice of the European politics. European politics এর যে greediness, তার যে পলিটিক্যাল সিস্টেম, পার্টি সিস্টেম, সোসাইটাল সিস্টেম সবকিছুকে অ্যাকসেপ্ট করছে, প্রমোট করছে ইউরোপিয়ান সিভিলাইজেশন, ইউজিং অফ দ্য গান পাউডারকে ইউজ করে প্রমোট করছে এখানে গালিভার। অ্যান্ড হেন্স হি ইজ আ গালিভার রিপ্রেজেন্টেটিভ অফ দ্য কন্টেম্পোরারি মিডল ক্লাস ইউরোপিয়ান ম্যান, contemporary middle class British man. Nevertheless, Brobdingnagians are not without their flaws. So even the king, who is sincerely fond of Gulliver, cannot view him as anything except as an entertaining, as a device of entertainment. Alibi, very sly little fellow, one who is not to be trusted. To them, Gulliver is a mere toy and খেলার বস্তু, not a man. So they undress in front of him without any thought of modesty, and they titillate themselves with his naked body, and still this abuse of Gulliver, denying his humanity and his manhood, is done for amusement, not out of malice. এই যে গালিভারের ডিহিউম্যানাইজেশন, তাকে মানুষ বলে ট্রিট না করা বা মানুষ হিসেবে হয়তো ট্রিট করা, তারা তো মানুষ নয়, ব্রবডিংনাগিয়ান না হয়তো, বা তাকে একটা খুবই রেসপেক্ট না দেওয়া অনেক ক্ষেত্রে, দিস ডিহিউম্যানাইজেশন and complete stripping of his manhood is a satire upon his personality. তার যে ব্যক্তিত্ব, সেই ব্যক্তিত্বের প্রতি বিদ্রুপ করছেন পুরো টেক্সট জুড়ে জোনাথন সুইফট। So in short, Swift praises the Brobdingnagians, but it does not intend for us to think that they are perfect humans. They are superhumans bound to us by flesh and blood, just bigger morally than we are. They are just great in size, they are just bigger than the humans in morally. They are not only bigger than the humans in terms of size, but also they are much more bigger than the humans in terms of morality also. Their virtues are not impossible for us to attain, but because it takes so much maturing to reach the stature of a moral giant, few humans could achieve it. So that's the what I'll say, the core observations regarding the Brobdingnagians. Now let us have a look into the philosophical and political background of Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travels. Swift has at least two aims in Gulliver's Travels. What are the aims? Besides merely telling a good adventure story, I already told you that it's a hybrid genre. It's a combination of genres of the travel narrative with that of the political satire. And behind, and with also that of the adventure story. So behind this guise of his narrative, he's satirizing the pettiness of the human nature in general and attacking the Whigs in particular. Human nature in general, a satire on the humanity, is a scathing and virulent satire on humanity. Gulliver's Travels is a scathing and virulent satire upon humanity, and it also attacks the political opinions and ideologies propounded by the Whigs. So by emphasizing the 6-inch height of the Lilliputians, he graphically diminishes the stature of the politicians and indeed the stature of all human nature. And in using the fire in the queen's chambers, the rope dancers, the bill of particulars drawn against Gulliver, and the inventory of Gulliver's pockets, he presents a series of allusions that were identifiable to his contemporaries as critical of Whig politics. So, in presenting various forms of incidents like the fire in the queen's chamber, rope dancer, bill, various drawn against Gulliver, to blind him, এগুলো প্রত্যেকটা সেই সময়কার ইংল্যান্ডের বিভিন্ন কন্টেম্পোরারি পলিটিক্যাল ইভেন্ট তাকে অ্যালিউড করছে গালিভার্স ট্রাভেলসের প্রত্যেকটা ঘটনা। In book 1 and 2, Swift directs his satire more toward the individual targets than firing broadside at abstract concept. So book 1 and 2, Swift directly attack through his satire toward the individual people. In book 1, he's primarily concerned with the Whig politics and politicians rather than with the abstract politician, while in the book 2, he elects to reprove immoral Englishmen rather than abstract immorality. So, book 1-এ direct Whig politicianদের attack করছেন, book 2-তে he is attacking the entire English morality, the entire English British race, entire middle class British citizens. So why, one might ask, did Swift have such a consuming contempt for the Whigs? কেন এত রাগ? This hatred began when Swift entered politics as the representative of the Irish Church. So Swift was the representative of the Irish Church, as I told you that he is an Irish man. And representing the Irish bishops, Swift tried to get Queen Anne and the Whigs to grant some financial aid to the Irish Church. They refused. They completely refused, and Swift turned against them, even though he had considered them as his friends and had helped them while he worked for Sir William Temple. এইভাবেই যখন প্রথমবার কুইন অ্যান এবং হুইগসরা আইরিশ চার্চে ইনভেস্ট করতে রাজি হয়নি সাম ফাইন্যান্সিয়াল এইডস, তখনই he turned against them. So Swift turned to the Tories for political allegiance and devoted his propaganda talents to their services, using certain political events of 1714 and 1718. He described in Gulliver's Travels many things that would remind his readers that Lilliputian folly was also English folly, and particularly Whig folly. আমরা বেশ কয়েকটি ইভেন্টকে দেখে পরিষ্কার বুঝতে পারবো যে these are all allusions to the contemporary English politics, and this will remind the readers, the British readers particularly, that the Lilliputian folly was also English folly and Whig folly in particular. The method, for example, which Gulliver must use to swear his allegiance to the Lilliputian emperor parallels the absurd difficulty that the Whigs created concerning the credentials of the Tory ambassadors who signed the Treaty of the Utrecht. Treaty of the Utrecht যখন সাইন করা হয়, যে টরি অ্যাম্বাসেডর সাইন করেছিল, সেই প্রত্যেকটার পলিটিক্যাল অ্যালিউশন এখানে রয়েছে। Treaty of the Utrecht is a peace treaty signed between those people who are engaged themselves in the war of the Spanish succession. It's a pan-European treaty. গোটা ইউরোপের সমস্ত বড় বড় এম্পায়ার এটাকে সাইন করেছিল। The Dutch Emperor, the English Emperor, the Spanish Emperor, the French, সবাই এতে সারেন্ডার করেছিল। এবং এর ফলে GM Trevelyan, the English historian, told us that English race will prosper করেছিল। পরবর্তীকালে ব্রিটিশ এবং ফ্রেঞ্চ কমার্শিয়াল রিলেশন অনেক বেটার হয়েছিল। নাভাল স্কেপে, সি স্কেপে অনেক বেশি ইংলিশরা রোবাস্ট, শক্তিশালী হয়েছিল থ্রু দিস পিস অফ Utrecht, Treaty of the Utrecht. Now I will also discuss about the concept of the utopia and dystopia as used in Gulliver's Travels. As I already told you, that utopia is a land of imagination. It's an ideal land. It's completely free of poverty, disease, conflict, unhappiness. It's actually derived from the Greek word utopia, which means well placed. It's a pun on the nowhere. While on the other hand, dystopia means derived from the Greek word dystopia, which means ill or bad or abnormal place. Dystopia মানে হচ্ছে একটা abnormal place যেখানে কোনো ধরনের আইন শৃঙ্খলা নেই, completely disordered environment, যা এক্সপেক্ট করছিল উল্টোটা হবে। It's almost a মানে পোস্ট অ্যাপোক্যালিপটিক ইউনিভার্স, ধ্বংসের পরে, যুদ্ধের পরের একটা পৃথিবী। So this is ইলাস্ট্রেশনের থ্রুতে দেখাবার চেষ্টা করছি। This is utopia, a green land, organized landscape. This is utopia. While this is dystopia, almost a picture representing the Second World War, the picture of the nuclear bomb in the Hiroshima. So this is a dystopic atmosphere. So regarding utopia and dystopia, dystopia is an imaginary place where people lead dehumanized and often fearful lives. That's dystopia. In contrast to utopia, utopia can be translated into good place. So Lilliputians are the place of it's a dystopic place because of extreme environment, because of the thunder and rain. I'm actually ending this video in this particular place. I will begin again commence my lecture after when the rain and the thunder will stop. So extremely sorry for this interruption. This is rather a natural interruption. We'll be back soon.